Welcome to the Toy Rewind Podcast with your hosts, the Brothers Newland. Now, let's talk toys.
I think that intro gets longer every time, Andrew.
It seems like it, doesn't it?
I
Right.
am. Nicole.
I'm John.
And I'm Andrew, and we, the Brothers Newland, are coming to you this week for a Toy Rewind podcast to talk about kind of a rewind from just talking about what we talked about last week a little bit. So this is episode 52. We're going to talk about Warrior Beasts, and they just happen to be the bad guys, the bad guy line for the
Lost World of the Warlord.
Yeah, I couldn't think how it started. The Lost World of the Warlord that we talked about last week.
Even though the Lost World of Warlord has a bad guy in it,
right?
Deimos is the bad
Deimos
guy,
is a bad guy
to the Warlord in the comic books, and
so we do have some interesting. I hope I don't lose internet connection because there's a storm going on. It just thundered again real loud. We'll hope everything will be good. All right. John, you want to get us started? Tell us how people can find us.
Sure. All right. So check out our website at toyrewindpodcast.com. You can also go to crossthestreamsmedia.com for our partnership with them. Our email, toyrewindpodcast@gmail.com. Check us out on Instagram, Twitter, and Twitch. Look up Toy Rewind Pod. Facebook and YouTube is Toy Rewind Podcast. Wait for our toy box showcases when you do some of those to come live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. And then we have our podcast bingo. If you're listening and playing, you can play at podcastbingo.com/toy rewind and have some fun with that. Send us a tweet or something if you get a bingo. And then watch out for our collector showcases, of course, that we team up with the Geek Together channel on.
And we do have a collector showcase we're trying to get scheduled. Hopefully next week we will have one next Wednesday. Hot take here that we're gonna hopefully have that. If schedules work out, we'll be doing that. So and I think it's gonna be a fun one. Talking about some in the box collecting. So hopefully that all works out. All right. So we've got socials. Be sure you check out our Cross the Streams Media. Check out the crossstreamsmedia.com and all the other podcasts that are there. I know we're still growing a little bit. Got a few things. Hopefully the exit or the outro after ours that played after last week's episode didn't scare anybody away, and we still have more viewers. So one other thing that you can do for us, and that's go give us a rating on iTunes. We have a couple, rating and review. We have a couple, and John, this is funny. Michael was telling me when we first logged on before you joined us that we got a new rating or a new review in iTunes, except it's from August 14th of 2020. So it's over a year old. Michael just saw it.
I saw. Yeah, today's the 17th, August 17th. I thought it was from the 14th, but it was a year ago.
So it was a year old.
Just 3 days ago.
So if anybody wants to go give us a rating and a review on iTunes, that helps us. People can find us and kind of know what's going on, and if they want to listen to our podcast, that's great. So, all right, you guys ready for the fun for all question?
Yeah, let's go.
This will be a good one. I want lots of deep discussion on this. Okay. The question, and I saw this. I don't remember exactly where I saw it. I was just looking around for questions the other day, and I saw this. But if you could get rid of any one state out of the United States, which one would it be, and why? So, Michael, John, and myself, we don't want to offend any of our listeners by getting rid of their states. So, think about that. Michael, you're up.
I think when you first brought this, I said, we live in Texas. I said, let's get rid of Texas. Texas can succeed and become their own country like everybody wants. Yeah. Everybody from Texas wants to do. But no, let's stay with the U.S. right now. And let's see. I don't know. I don't know if I think maybe California or New Jersey. one of those two. I don't.
Everybody talks about California fixing to fall off anyway.
I don't.
Yeah.
I don't. Well, I don't hear anything really good about New Jersey. I guess they got.
Well, everything's legal in Jersey.
It's so small anyway. I don't think anybody would notice.
Yeah. So California,
or
New Jersey,
or maybe Washington D.C. Well, that's not really a state.
That's a district.
That's a district.
Doesn't count.
I don't know.
You only get. You can't pick the we keep going, Michael. You'll have listed all the states.
I don't think I know anybody from New Jersey, so we'll just say New Jersey.
Yeah, okay, you're going New Jersey. Okay, John.
It's just a little thing, so it's not going to be too devastating.
All right, John.
Okay, John. Who do you want to offend, John?
I don't want to offend anyone. This is all about air quality and everything else. I would say just let California sink. Let's get everybody out of California so we can still have those people. Let California sink so we can get rid of all the wildfires and everything.
All right. I mean, that's not too bad.
It's either that or Arkansas.
It's either that or Arkansas. Gosh. All right.
Well, see, Arkansas's got the mountains and the scenery.
And kissing cousins.
Can we just say maybe South California, Southern California, because Northern California's got the
wine country,
sequoia trees, and the wine.
I don't want to get rid of any of that stuff. It's just
all
when you go with some of the.
Then you got San Diego and South California, so I don't know. I've never been to California, so I couldn't tell you. So I've just seen pictures on the internet.
I guess like Utah's mostly desert, so
it's desert and Mormons. Okay, so for me, I thought about this a lot, and we're getting rid of Montana. There's nothing about that state that's worth anything. So no,
this is the country. It's
nice, the country.
Quiet.
You know what? Everything that I saw while I was in Montana, I've seen the same thing in every other place I've lived, and it was beautiful there. There's no reason to go to Montana. So just Canada can have it. Let's just give it to Canada. So that's my option.
Just push it.
So you're not
really get rid of it.
Hey,
just push it. Just push it into Canada.
Yeah, just push it into Canada. Bring the border down. Then technically not getting rid of it. We're letting those people become Canadians, and we won't really be able to. I mean, yes, we would be able to go there, but you'd have to go through border guards and stuff. So nobody would want to go there. So yeah. I have two that are like. This is my second and third, but they're kind of tied. So, and that's Rhode Island, because I mean, why is it even a state? I mean, honestly. And the third is Louisiana, because they don't know how to make things counties. They still have parishes, and that's the only
roads.
Yeah, the only good thing that I know that has come out of Louisiana is Joey. That's it. I don't know anything else that has come out of that state that's worth anything. And Joey's a good guy. That's about it. So
yeah, Louisiana's got the voodoo stuff, and they talk funny down there sometimes too.
Yeah. Them Cajuns, they gotta say, and they go shoot alligators and like shoot them, and I'm like, yeah. So, and there's a bunch of Cajuns right now that just heard all that and are like, yeah. We've been canceled for Louisiana.
We just lost a lot of.
We just lost Louisiana. Sorry, Joey. All right. Well, there's our fun for all. Hopefully, we don't get rid of any of those states, and they all stick around, and all our listeners stick around too. So, we are going to chit chat about some toys now. If Professor's ready.
Yeah.
How many pages of notes do you have?
I got 2 pages.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to be like half a page.
Because there's not really much to this line. It's kind of less than even last week,
Yeah.
Well,
okay. There's less information, but there's more figures.
Yeah, there's more figures, yes.
But
yes.
Less information. So, all right, we're going to talk about. Let's go to this again. This is the Warrior Beast, which is the bad guys. Our REMCO made these as the bad guys to the Lost World of the Warlock figures that we talked about last week. So,
So the 1982 We're going back to 1982 like we did last year.
John, make
week.
sure you remember that date, 1982.
Remember that.
It's
and
on my wall.
REMCO.
Did you make a wall,
He's
John?
making notes.
Not yet. It's on my
All right.
list.
It's on my notes. REMCO, 1982.
REMCO, 1982. All right. It's like the flashing of something out in front of a TV show or movie says REMCO, 1982.
Yeah.
Okay. So with the initial launch of Lost World of the Warlord not doing as well as planned, REMCO added a second line to coincide with the Warlords and blend into the MOTU type universe, the Masters of the Universe type universe, because that's what these were designed like, and REMCO wanted kids to buy these to play with their to add to their MOTU toys and all that kind of stuff. So this line, let's see, this line was called the Warrior Beasts. It's also a 5.5-inch line. The figures came with weapons that were shared with several lines that REMCO produced, but most notably the Lost World of Warlord line. I think I talked about that last week about the weapons and stuff. They kind of used them in Lost World of the Warlord, this Warrior Beast line, and then the Conan line, and then they had some other things shared with some other lines down the chute there. So this line included 10 different figures, and then it had 9 figures, and it had two packs, which the 10th figure was in. Let's see. So the characters on this, they're all kind of a beast looking. Most of them are like lizard, dinosaur type themed. They weren't part of the comic books, but REMCO come out with that design. So they actually put, it looked like Masters of the Universe type bodies with a like some kind of animal type head, reptile type head, most of them. So the figures they had, there was Craven. He was like a half bird, half lizard type creature. He came with 2 different kind of weapons. He had an axe, and he had a black knife. And then there was Hydras. This was like a 2-headed beast. Had an axe and silver knife came with him. And then he had Gecko. He was kind of like a lizard beast. There was 2 different variations on this Gecko, but the figures were completely different. So I don't know why they gave the same name to a figure that was completely different from the first one. But the first variation was a purple lizard looking thing. He had a gold rope and a staff. And then the second variation was a blue and green and yellow color. He had a completely different head sculpt. The head was different. It was more like Zardoz, which was another one. So his head was more like that. And the coloration was kind of similar to Zardoz. But this one he just came with an axe with the second variation.
I feel like this was a mistake. The Gecko version 2 should have been Zardoz version 2.
Yeah, you would think it would, because they looked almost the same. So Zardoz was a dinosaur type warrior. He came with a sword. So the Gecko version 2 looked almost exactly like Zardoz.
The head sculpt's a little different, slightly, just a little different on the top.
Different.
But even the way that it was painted, because the Zardoz has the solid color body and his limbs are the two-tone colors. Mm-hmm. And that's that Gecko version 2. I bet that was somebody misthought something, and it just never got caught or something.
Yeah. So go back to Zardoz. He was a dinosaur. Had a dinosaur head. He came with a sword. The next one is Guana.
On that sword, it's the same one that the Warlord.
Yeah, it's the same sword
it's
Warlord has. Yeah.
Kind of weird on that one.
And then you have Guana. He's actually a Triceratops warrior. His head looks like a Triceratops. But Guana. Go ahead.
Wait, no, I think you were about to say something that.
Yeah, so Guana, first thing I think about is bat poo.
Bat poop. Yeah.
Or
Iguana.
iguana.
Yeah, but I think iguana was what but he doesn't even look like an iguana. He's a
doesn't.
triceratops.
I think this was another mistake.
I don't know who at REMCO was naming these guys, and they must have been smoking something, because none of these kind of match up with what they're, especially having two different variations with the same name that don't even look anywhere alike. You figure they'd have the two variations would be just slightly different, but they're completely different. So, but Guana, going back to Guana, he had a sword.
It's a black sword. But I believe if I'm right, he's the only one that has that black sword. There's not one in any of the other.
Yeah.
What do you call them? Toy.
Any of the other lines?
Yeah, lines that
sword.
had that
yeah,
black
I think
sword.
he was. Yeah.
So it's kind of weird, because all the weapons are like with the Warlords and everything. They're all mixed in with that. And what were some of the others that came out that time? Hercules and all the. Hercules.
All right, so then you got Snake Man. He's a snake warrior. This is the only one that actually had a tail on him. He had a removable tail. A lot of times you find them now, the tail's either lost, and then the little hook that holds the. That was
I hear that at yours.
I was about to say, can you hear that?
Yeah,
I heard that one.
But the little piece that holds the tail on, is usually broke off, so it's kind of a hard thing to find if you're looking now to find complete. But it was removable. He came with an axe and a black or silver knife. Sometimes it came with a black knife, sometimes it came with a silver knife. And the one knife looks like an axe, a smaller type axe thing.
Yeah.
And then the silver knife looks like a small knife. So, and then the next warrior is Stegos. He's like a Stegosaurus creature. And he came with the staff. And then you had Wolf Warrior. He was a wolf-like creature. He was like one of the only ones that wasn't like a reptile, other than Craven. Like I said, he was half bird and half lizard. But Wolf Warrior was a wolf-like creature. He came with a fake fur type thing that kind of a thing that went around his neck and kept him warm, I guess. And then he came with the sword. And then the last one that came as just a figure by himself was Skull Man. He was an evil skeleton warrior. So there's two versions of him. So the first version looked very similar to Skeletor with a hood. And I think they changed that because he looked so much like Skeletor. I think Mattel probably said something to him. But this Skull Man, he came with a silver knife and a bow, and they come with a red cape. And then the second version, it was a completely different head sculpt. Completely they lost the hood. There's no more hood on it, and the head looks almost like a cartoonish type skull. It's like a bigger. His head was bigger. It wasn't as elaborate, as detailed as the first version. I guess to kind of differentiate between the Skeletor and Skullman. So this one, the second version came with a cape, a silver knife, and a bow.
So I think I think we should take this time and point out the Skullman version 2. I know Larry's listening to this, so Larry, go find that. Have somebody do a custom paint job on it. That could be the STS guy's like mascot. Because that skull, like, that could be their mascot.
Yeah, version 1 looked almost like Skeletor. Version 2 looked more like a cartoon type skeleton guy.
Yeah, it kind of looks like version 2 lost a few little muscles in there too.
Yeah, he's not as muscular. Yeah,
he got a little flabby.
Well, he went from being cut to being size. That's what it looks like.
Yeah.
Like one body sculpt. With bodybuilders, you have you got like 3 different body size or styles. Then you went from being that real cut one and narrowed to that really bulky, wide waist one.
There you go.
So those are all the individual figures. Then they have a 2-pack. They actually have 2 different 2-packs. It's called Fire Dragon and Remar. Now there's 2 different fire dragons. One's got a like the little lizard thing and from Australia whose neck flares out. Yeah. And then the other one just looks like a regular lizard. So there's one on each pack, and then
these look like some rubber lizards you just go buy.
From the dollar store is what they look like. Yeah, little cheap little lizards you buy. And then you got Remar that comes with them, but there's 2 different Remars. They look completely different from each other, but they're the same guy, but they don't look the same. So that's something else that REMCO, if they look different, they should have different names. They shouldn't have the same name and be totally different. I mean, even if they looked kind of the same, I could see them being the same name, but yeah.
All of these, with the exception of Skullman, look like they took the bodies. Actually, hold on. Yeah, they are all the same body except for Hydraz
and Craven.
Snake Man has different feet.
Yeah, Snake Man's a little different because he's got that tail.
He's got a little different. But for the most part, they are all the same body with different paint jobs or different color molds.
Mm-hmm.
And they've taken the finger monsters and made them their heads. They cut off the arms and made them their heads.
They just put them, those little rubber finger monsters you put on your finger.
Yes. So somebody at REMCO said, "Hey, we need some bad guys." So they took one of the bodies, and then another guy brought in all of their kids' finger monsters. They cut the hands off, and they were like, "Here you go," and that's what they did.
Yeah, these bodies are almost exactly like the Warlords line,
and they look like
just different colors.
I think it's Hercules' body.
Yeah,
just looking at it. But there are a few. So Craven is different because he's got like feathers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's a little like. Yeah, his is probably the most different.
Hydraz has like scales. Snake Man looks like he's got scales too. So does Stegos. I don't have a picture of Wolf Warrior, but the others are all
one of those. Wolf Warrior has. Let's see here. I can find it again. But he came with a furry vest.
Yes.
Yeah. That's faux fur. Yeah.
And let's see here. Here's one.
I saw that one earlier and didn't realize that. That's what it was.
Yeah, here's one without the vest.
I got the hiccups, sorry.
Right here.
Yeah.
But he had that brown faux fur vest that came with him, and then he had a sword, but I think he's holding the wrong sword in this picture.
Yeah, it looks like this picture here, he's just got a silver sword. So
here, look at this one, John. Let me show you. Excuse us for a minute. We're going to share this picture.
We're just sharing some pictures. So we're just talking about these and sharing pictures. That's all right. There we go.
Yeah, so that's him carded.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, he's got that fur, and you can see kind of the kind of molded fur down his arms and his legs, but
he's got that warlock sword.
Yeah. So basically, the chest and the waist area is all the same on all the figures, pretty close. The arms and the legs are all going to be different. So
they're just retooling the same things they already have, and it's funny that they're doing this when the line that is considered the good guys didn't work that as well as I expected it to.
Yeah.
Now,
well, you had Masters of the Universe out there. The kids were going crazy. There was the cartoon, all that kind of stuff going on to drive sales on that, and then REMCO kind of butts in on this and say, "Hey, we've got some figures you can play with them." It kind of helps sell theirs a little bit, but But yeah, they're kind of they just kind of butted in on the Master Universe idea there. So
I mean, I will say so. Okay, so the Warlords might not have worked as well because you've got good guys that are. Nobody's going to replace the MOTU good guys with the Warlords. Now these warrior beasts can mesh right in with Skeletor and his crew because these are just henchmen basically. I mean, Skullman is the only one that I would say is not. I mean, he can hold his own, but he's still, that could be Skeletor's evil, more or less evil second cousin from Arkansas, So like, yeah, I think this. I get this. This may work better than the Warlords because the way that they can do that.
And now, I'm looking at this Wolf Warrior, and I think he would, he'd fit good with Thundercats. Just the way his face sculpt is and everything.
I think he's got the wrong feet.
Yeah, they've all got. Yeah, even he's got like dinosaur type feet, like all the rest of them. They're not really like wolf type feet. Yeah.
So it's like up in the air whether they have like the feet with boots or these dinosaur type feet. And I think if he had the boots, he would be a lot better. Like,
yeah, I think so. Yeah.
It would make more sense. And then, yeah, you're right. He would go right in. He could fit right in with Thundercats there.
Yeah.
But it's kind of weird.
So
with those feet. I kind of like these guys though.
Yeah, they're not
interesting.
They're not bad. I know I like Wolfman, Skullman, or Wolf Warrior, Skullman, and the first version of Skullman. The first version of Gecko's not bad. The purple, he's all purple. But when they change his head sculpt to the other one, it just looks kind of crazy.
The two-tone bodies are a little weird. So you've got basically it's from the neck down, it's the chest piece, but it runs all the way to the waist. So it's just the chest piece, and then the legs, the arms,
the torso
and the head,
part is all one color.
The torso. So that's all one color, and then the rest of them are the different colors. And I don't know who thought that would be cool. The interesting thing about is this Gecko version 2, is the color that they chose, like the yellow and the green for the arms and the legs, doesn't match with the yellow and the red for the head that I'm looking at, the one that I'm looking at.
Yeah.
So turquoise torso.
Yeah, with the turquoise.
Yeah, the torso is like a turquoise color. Yeah.
It's like why I have this weird thing.
Yeah, it's just like they took pieces of the others and kind of put together. So, here's version 2 of this character.
Yeah.
When the first version looked just fine and dandy to me. It was all one color,
all purple,
and not even they didn't even change the color of his head. They just changed his head completely. So, yeah, the first version has like one little horn on top, and the second version has like 4 different scale-looking things coming off his head.
Yeah. Now Guana works. He's two-tone colors, but he's all red and yellow. There's no red and yellow this part, red and green on this part, or yellow and green. He's just all red and yellow. He's got a full solid red torso, but it fits. It seems to do well there.
Just the name doesn't.
That's what I was about to say. The only thing that doesn't work for him is the name. He's not a iguana.
He should have been
Triceratops.
He should have been Tri-Man or something.
Triclaw.
Tridaz.
Tridaz. So.
That I call mine. Other than Skullman, Snake Man is probably my second favorite.
The Snake Man.
Yeah, Snake Man works pretty good too.
I like.
He can hold his own.
I kind of like the Craven, the bird. He's kind of like a hawk. He looks like a hawk to me.
Yeah,
I kind of like Craven. I think he works.
I think it was like a raven to me, but yeah, I can see.
I mean that makes sense.
Eagle type head, yeah.
Yeah, the Raven makes sense. Yeah, because it is black.
He's black
and
kind of black and yellow. Yeah,
but I like these guys. These are kind of cool.
Yeah,
I would like to have a Skullman. I'd like to have a Skullman.
Yeah, I want version 1 though.
Oh yeah, I definitely want version 1. I'd put any of these down with my MOTU.
I'd take either one, but
yeah.
So what was that, Andrew?
Oh, I don't know. What did go ahead?
One more. Okay. So, by the end of 1983, the line had faded. Then Remco moved on to the next line. So that's kind of something they did throughout their history.
They just gave up.
Yeah, Remco had a history of making what it was just making fast cash. They put out a line there, make all their money on that line, and then when it started fading, they'll drop it and then go to the next one. They didn't stick with one line any very long to even to make it into something bigger. Some of these like G.I. Joe, they start out with a few figures, and then it just throughout the years they kept building and building and building. Masters of the Universe, same thing. Transformers, same thing. Now Remco put something out for a year and a half, and then let's go do something else. Let's go imitate somebody else. So that's what they're doing. They're good at imitating. I saw something where Remco's the leader of knockoff. We should
have just had a Remco episode to talk about all their knockoffs. So what is their next line, Michael, that they did after Warrior Beast? Do you know?
I think it was going into Conan. I think, if I remember right.
So that would make sense. So if they did Warlord, Warrior Beast, and then right into Conan, that's why they're using some of the same body parts, the same weapons,
the same weapons and stuff.
Yeah.
So we'll reassure our listeners we're not talking about Conan next week. So you'll get a break from. We're not going to follow Remco's model, their business model. We're going to actually give you some good content.
Something that they advertised in their catalog was the Fortress of Doom. It was like a 3-story or 3 foot tall, like 4 different levels. 4 levels. It was 3 foot tall. It had elevating drawbridges, mobile transporters. There was a dungeon. They had movable gates. They had a weapons rack, all kinds of stuff on this Fortress of Doom, and it was made perfectly for these 5.5-inch figures. They advertised it, but it was never produced, so they never made it. So, like I said, they dropped the line. They didn't even get far enough to even make a playset for this. So, they did have a little pullback car type thing for the Skullman's Galaxy Racers. What it was, had a little motor. You pull it back and it takes off. And then there was also just a regular Galaxy Racer for the Warlords line too that I didn't see last week until this week. Also, something else that I missed last week, and I saw it today looking up this stuff. Remember that Eric from the Warlords? Mm-hmm. He came. His figure sometimes came with a mini comic book, and that comic book kind of ties the Eric figure or the Eric character and the Hercules character into the Warlords comics, because Eric was a completely different comic book, and Hercules was a completely different comic book, and they had nothing to do with Warlord. So they put this in the Eric figure. They actually put a little mini comic, and it kind of ties Eric and Hercules into the Warlord comics, just for that one. So it was kind of interesting. I got the story here. It's after the Warlord escapes from a group of creatures who want to sacrifice him to their god. Deimos finds another way to strike at his enemy. He conjures up a warrior from the past, which is Eric, plucking him directly from the court of Carolus Magnus. So I guess that's where his court is in his comic book. He then brainwashes Eric into attacking Morgan, who is the Warlord. Then the sorceress Angelica has her own plans for Eric and does not want him hurt or killed in Deimos' scheme. She uses the Mask of Life on a skeleton in Deimos' lair. The skeleton is that of Hercules. The hero of legend is restored to life. He attacks Deimos, who is forced to break his spell on Eric. The Son of Thunder returns to his own time period, and Hercules vanishes. So that's kind of the synopsis, if I can say that, synopsis for the little mini comic. So,
Okay.
it was kind of something neat. I saw that I didn't see last week. So
I was looking at prices for these, and I forgot I ran across this. I was just closing tabs because prices are about the same. They ran $297 back when they were new. That's $8.36 today. Not too bad. But on eBay, it's kind of hard to find some of these because I don't know, Michael. Do you have anything about REMCO selling off these brands, or REMCO selling? REMCO's still around, right?
no, REMCO got bought out by I'll think of it here in a minute.
It's not Zolo World, is it?
No.
Okay, so I found this online. This is a Zolo World re-release, or it's not even a re-release because this one wasn't even made. This is Headhunter, and it's from 2017. So, but they're all Zolo World. They've got the same Realm of the Underworld. This has a couple that are kind of all kind of different ones. Hercules is the only one that's the same that's on this one that is in the Warlord one. But then you've got the Warrior Beasts, and there's a couple that are in here, but mostly like renamed, like Skullman's here. There's Headhunter, which this could be. I can't zoom in on it. Skullman looks the same, but Headhunter looks like the version 2 of Skullman, which we see here. It's just the different sculpt on the head. And then I had it zoomed in. Where's it at? So you can't really see it, but this is all 2017. But these are running like $40 to $50. And so it's hard to differentiate between the ones that are Zolo World unless you can see the packaging and the ones that are not. So kind of interesting.
Okay, 1997, Jack's Pacific. That's who I was trying to think of. Jack's Pacific purchased REMCO. So that's who owns them now since 1997.
Okay.
Jack's
So you don't know anything about what these Zolo World, Realm, Underworld figures are?
No, they probably did sell off some of their molds and stuff. A lot of companies do that. They'll sell them off to some other toy companies, and they just kind of reproduce some of them.
Yeah. So if you are looking to collect any of these, just be very vigilant in what you're looking for, because if you want the new ones, they run about the same prices, and they're all listed. Like here's a Craven for $50. But it's a REMCO 1982. You just got to make sure the dates are listed and you're not looking at the wrong ones, Zolo World ones. So, yeah. I mean, unless you want the Zolo World ones, you do what you want to do. So, we don't judge. But all right, let's jump into ranking these guys. So, Michael,
I'll just put them right under. I'll just put them at number 8.
Number 8.
Stick them right there with the Warlord guys there.
All right, John. You're muted, John. We can't
actually,
hear you.
hey, let me. I was thinking about that. I'm gonna put them at 10 for me.
Number 10.
Yeah, I think the Warlord line was a little more interesting than this line to me. I know they're right there side by side, but yeah, I think number 10 will work for me right there. Yeah.
All right, John.
Not far off of him, but I'm not even going to put him in my top 10. They'll make it to 11.
Number 11. That's sad, guys. I'm going number 8. I actually like these more than the Lost World of the Warlords, even with their interesting color things that they got going on. Yeah, number 8. So it's I like the characters. Like I said, they fit in better with the MOTU than the others, and so I gotta rank them up there like that, better than the Lost World of the Warlord. You guys just don't know what you're talking about. That's how the rankings work. Mine are the ones that matter. right?
Years are the ones that matter. All right. If you want to think that way. Yeah.
So yeah, make sure if you want to look at those rankings for all of our lines, let's see, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 22 after this episode comes out. That'll be in there. Just check out the rankings over at toyrewindpodcast.com. Up at the top, there's Toy Rankings button. You click on it. It'll show you what our rankings are right now. So that's 22. So we got about 10 more episodes before we do another bracket. But I think it will be 11 because we do have one episode that I know of that's coming up that won't end up inside of this list. So,
yeah.
Be sure you check out those rankings because it's kind of, I think the rankings are fun that we've been doing this. And it's been a little while since we talked about it. We started talking about the rankings when we first started as kind of like what the Top Gear and the Grand Tour guys would do when they would run. They would kind of rank cars and they would push them down, up and down on the lists. Mm-hmm. And that's what we've been doing with ours. We rank them and they go up and down on the list or whatever. So
yeah,
kind of a lot of fun with that.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else we want to add about some Warrior Beasts?
Not Warrior Beasts, but I was looking through a catalog for REMCO, and they've got a lot of interesting. And I'm sure we'll get to some of these other toy lines from them later down the line. But just flipping through they have some interesting things. There's Manitech and Mantech, and which is interesting. What was that other one? There was a GoBots ripoff.
GoBots, yeah, you sent that one to us today.
The Zybots is what they're called. So, the GoBots are kind of a cheap Transformers, or these are cheap GoBots, it looks like. So
maybe I should send that to Sully and ask him if he's ever heard of those.
They're interesting. So, yeah, they got some interesting stuff we'll get to later on down the line. And like I said, we hadn't talked anything about REMCO until last week, and then this week we get two in a row from them. So.
And this is not going to be the year of REMCO. We'll probably do more REMCO this year than we did last year, but we've already done that. So
yeah,
this is not the year of REMCO.
Just weird going through it and then finding out because, like Michael said, they're kind of known for their knockoffs.
Yeah.
And we did a knockoff episode, and we
didn't talk about them at all.
No, we didn't talk about them at all.
We just talked about the other knockoff toys, which is kind of funny. Yeah. So
there's also like a Robot Defenders line, and they kind of remind me of the robot. Was it Robotech? Which one? Who was that? That was
the RoboForce.
Yeah, RoboForce. Yeah,
with the stupid little.
Yeah, I mean these guys actually look like some kind of Japanese robots, but yeah, the Robot Defenders kind of sounds like RoboForce.
Yeah,
so, but we'll get to them later down the line. It's just something interesting to look at.
All right. Well, John, anything you want to add before we wrap this one? This is another short toy line. So
yeah, this was
I ain't got much.
Yeah. All right. Well, then, what do you want to do first? You want to do shout outs or you want to do your socials? Which one do you want to do first, John?
Either one. Let's do the socials, then you can go straight into the shout outs.
All right.
Sign off.
Take it away.
So, all right. So, double check our website out, toyrewindpodcast.com, and also check out ours over at Cross the Streams. It's crossthestreammedia.com. Email us at toyrewindpodcast@gmail.com. Check us out on Instagram, Twitch, and Twitter at Toy Rewind Pod, Facebook and YouTube, or Toy Rewind Podcast. If you've been playing our podcast bingo at podcastbingo.com/Toy Rewind, make sure you tweet us if you got a bingo. Tweet us if you didn't. Let us know what you got so Andrew knows what to work on to make it harder.
Yeah.
Or not. And keep an ear out for our toy box showcases and our collector showcases with the Geek Together channel there. So
yeah, we do have some toy box showcases. I think we're going to do. I've got one. I talked about it last week, but I'm going to do it this week. I promise. Go over my turtles. But I'm just going to do it on Instagram. So make sure you're following those socials so you know when we go live.
Didn't you just do something on Instagram too with your tiny ghosts?
Yeah, I unboxed my tiny ghost ones, but I didn't do it on our channel. I did it on my personal one just because I wasn't sure. They're not rewind; they're all new ones. So yeah, my tiny ghost collection grew from 2 to 16 in like the last 4 days. So it kind of blew up. All right. Well then, Michael, you want to do the DATS shout out?
Yeah.
You got it.
DATS is the second Sunday of every month. The Dusty Attic Toy Show is what it is. Randy and Charlie put on a great show out there. The first, next month is, hold on a second, let me get the calendar because I don't have the date. So the second Sunday will be the 12th of September is the next show. I won't make that one, but I'll make the October show, which would be the 10th of October. So if you're in the DFW area, swing by the DAT show. It's in Garland. I think it's 2121 Rowlett Road, I think Charlie likes to say. So the Dusty Attic Toy Show. You can find pretty much anything that you're looking for out there. Like I said, G.I. Joe, Transformers, a lot of die-cast stuff. There's some Amigos, just some old stuff, new stuff, MOTU, Ghostbusters, just about anything you're looking for, they probably have. And it's a great show. It's getting up off the ground. It's growing. So they're getting back after the COVID shutdown and everything. So, I enjoy going and seeing all the vendors and stuff and the people coming in. So, anyway, it's a good show. So if you're in the DFW area, second Sunday of every month, stop by there. I know there's other shows on each Saturday of the month as well, or the first, second, and third Saturdays. There's big shows. But the DATS is probably my favorite, but you can check out all of them up there. It's good.
Yep. And like John mentioned, as we've mentioned before, remember to check out Geek Together. Since we partner with them on our collector showcases. They are live every Saturday on their Twitch channel. And so it's twitch.tv/Geek Together. And if you want to know what all they're talking about, go check them out on all socials. Just search Geek Together. You'll find them. I really miss when they haven't released podcast episodes in like forever. And I really miss that. I don't always catch their lives. I always miss their things.
Yeah, they do it live every week. And they're doing the summer series is kind of toy designers each week, different person.
And I know they're growing their network. Like we partner with them for our showcases. And also they do their This Week in Funko. That's one, I don't remember what night that is, but
it's Thursday, I think.
Is it Thursdays? So be sure to check those out. They're pretty good shows, pretty good stuff. They give me a lot of good information. So it's a good group over there. Also, like we mentioned, we are now partnered with Cross the Streams Media as one of their podcasts. So go check out crossthestreamsmedia.com for links to all the socials that John mentioned, our website, toyrewindpodcast.com. If you want more of that, it's all there. We are updating some of our merch. I'm going to get it updated this week with some new shirts and updated a few things there. So you want to buy a shirt? We'll have some updated stuff. Hats? Is that what you're pointing at, John? We're all wearing hats. You need a hat. Okay, we got to look at hats. So be sure you do that. Also, if you're over on Cross Streams Media, you can leave us a voice message, and we may play it here. Let us know what you think. Also, leave us ratings and reviews.
Yeah, review. Yeah.
Be sure to do that. That's a big help for us to get the podcast out there. Make sure people know kind of what you think about it. And I know when I'm looking at podcasts, I always look to see what other people think about it before I subscribe. Unless it's a true crime, then I'm like, yes, I got that one. So while you're over on the CTS website, check out some of our other partner podcasts in the network, including the Dorksmen, the STS guys, Secondary Heroes, 3 Beers and a Mic, The Movie Gap, the Dan Aykroyd podcast, the Burt Reynolds and Charlie Bronson podcast, Front Row Negative, The Art of the Boar, and Beering Ain't Easy. Either one of you listen to any of those new ones this week?
Not yet. I got it on my list. I'm gonna start. I think tomorrow I'll catch one and start getting started on those.
Which one are you listening to, Michael?
I hadn't decided which one I wanted to listen to yet. I am gonna start listening to one, maybe 3 Beers and a Mic. I'm not sure.
I'm going to start listening to the Movie Gap tomorrow because we're making a podcast, a bingo sheet for them. So I got to listen and get caught up and figure out some stuff to put on there. So
yeah.
But then also, I'm still super interested in the Dan Aykroyd and the Burt Reynolds and Charlie Bronson podcast because I want to know what they talk about.
I got to catch up my Secondary Heroes too. They got a new one I haven't listened to yet either.
Oh yeah, and I'm caught up on Loki now. Yeah. So
Loki's over with, so it's What If now.
Right. I need to get caught up on What If, but I'm caught up on Loki, and I watched Suicide Squad.
I saw it. It was interesting. Yeah, the What If is interesting.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. It's a completely different. Let me put it this way: I at the end of Captain America. Steve Rogers doesn't get his dance like he promised. And I was sad on that. It's just a sad moment. He promised her a dance, and they didn't get a dance. Well, at the end of this one, somebody doesn't get a dance still, and it's still sad. So, anyway, I'll let you guys watch that. But it was
all right. So yeah, be sure you check out the CTS website. Drops the line. Let us know what you think, and all that's good. Also, like I mentioned, the iTunes ratings and reviews, they help us out quite a bit. So if you could, go drop us a rating and review. And if you do, if you send it to, if you do it on iTunes and then you send us a screenshot of it, you can just DM it to us or however you want to do it. John will send you stickers.
John has all the stickers.
John is the owner of the stickers now. So John will send you stickers. So yeah, if you want a sticker, send us that. We'll send you stuff. Which ones do you have, John? Which sticker? Are they all the same? Are they all white?
Yeah, for the most part, they're all the white ones.
Okay, so we got to get some more.
I think I ended up with a couple more. They're down here somewhere. There they are.
We got to get some more metallic ones made.
I have a few of the.
Oh, you guys still got a few of those. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, then, anything we want to add about this week's topic, the Warrior Beasts?
2 of these.
All right. Well, then.
John's still looking at stickers.
Oh, he's still looking at that. John has nothing to add right now.
I have stickers.
I got this cool sticker here. I'm going to do a shout out to Matthew Parrish. He's a fellow collector. He got this Parrishville, Texas. Pretty cool little sticker that he made and gave me one.
John's got dragon stickers too.
I got dragon stickers.
A shout out to Matthew.
There you go. All right. Well, then here on Toy Rewind, we talked about Warrior Beast. We had a lot of fun. I'm glad that we're going to step away from REMCO for at least a month. I promise it's at least a month. So yeah, I guess on behalf of the Brothers Newland here at the Toy Rewind podcast, play on.
You've been listening to the Toy Rewind podcast. Follow and join in the conversations at toyrewindpodcast.com.